I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you have a moment of silence, please? Roll call, Brooke.
Counselor Heising?
Here.
Counselor Schneider?
Here.
Counselor Stickley?
Here.
Council President Steeritz?
Here.
Counselor Tiarena?
Here.
We have 5 members present, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Council has had time to review the prior meeting's minutes from February 7th. Can we get a motion to move on that?
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes, Mayor.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve the prior meeting minutes moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Tiarena. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We have no individuals wishing to address council tonight. We have nobody, it's weird, Keith is not here. I think this is the first time he's missed a council meeting. He's gone for the weekend, not here for the meeting. Put that in the minutes, bro. All right. Committee reports. We have a tree commission.
That would be me.
Okay.
We had a tree commission meeting on February 14th, Monday. Present was me, Dan Nelson, Tom Collins, and Laura Camp. I actually didn't know it. I didn't know any of them.
Didn't you?
Nah.
Well, good for you for getting on this board then.
Yeah, no. But we discussed our Arbor Day is on April 29th. And Tim Collins said he would reach out to Pete Carr at the extension office and see if we could get a couple of trees to plant at the 2 schools. They said the 2 schools, so I'm assuming it's the 2 little
Primary and junior high, yeah.
Junior high. And so they decided to get 1 red oak tree and 1 autumn blaze maple tree. And I think they're gonna, the extension office were donating those trees to us to plant them, so. And then Brooke shared that the 2021 tree city application had been approved, so we're 2021 tree USA.
That's always nice.
And then, did we ever find out, Dan asked about the Tree USA, the convention, whatever you call it, 2022? Did we ever figure out where it was going to be at?
Yeah, she got back to me. I believe she said Finley.
Finley? Okay. We either have it 23 or 24.
2023.
23, okay. And that was it for the tree commission.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, so really there's nothing to move forward on.
No.
This. All right, great. Thank you.
Well, but I will find out like what time we're gonna plant the trees if anybody wants to go. But it's not till.
Usually there's one in the morning and one in the afternoon.
Okay.
The primary is usually early morning and then the
Okay.
other one's in the afternoon, but they usually come back. They let you know what works best for the schools
Okay.
and stuff.
I'll let you know if anybody wants to go.
It's a nice event to see all the kids out there and watching and learning about it. It's pretty cool. And I'm with you, I only know 2 people on that. I don't know Mr. Collins, a few of the others, so.
I know my daughter, Chloe and I, when she was like 4 years old, planted a little tree.
Mhm.
And it's kind of neat to go by. I said at the old house, but
Yeah.
it's like 25 feet tall.
We have
It's
the
kinda cool.
arborvitae, and my son brought it home. He's now 32 years old, and it's still standing.
Yeah.
Very tall, so.
It's kind of neat to watch
It
it grow.
is. It's really cool. Okay, well, let's move on to legislation then. We have our first reading on Ordinance 2022-2. And this is the ordinance providing for the issuance and sales of bonds in the maximum principal amount of $575,000 to pay costs of extending Seneca Drive by constructing, reconstructing, resurfacing, paving, grading, draining, and making other improvements, and in connection therewith, constructing and reconstruction as necessary, curbs, gutters, sidewalks, concrete, aprons, storm sewers, and related drainage facilities, and replacing or adding lighting and traffic signals, together with all necessary related improvements and I can never say that word, Tom. Appurtenances thereto, all as designated in the plans approved or to be approved by council and declaring an emergency. Gotta find a different
What
word
are
for that.
appurtenances?
Different word for that.
What are appurtenances?
Items?
Yeah, stuff that's related to it.
I know the definition, I just could never pronounce the word.
Could say related stuff.
Yeah, related items, related things.
Yeah.
Things, that's an easy one.
I would make the motion to approve that.
I'll second. Motion to place ordinance 2022-2 on emergency reading, moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Heising. Any discussion? Counselor
One-
Stick?
Oh,
sorry.
one thing really quick, that we talked, Thursday morning was that 575 is the cap. So like, if it goes over, then that's gonna be the expense of the contractor. So I just wanna kind of make sure everybody's aware of that.
Right, that's coming, is that coming in on the amendment too? Isn't that what we discussed?
No,
Oh, that's the failure to, so,
yeah, the amendment to the agreement has to do more with the minimum payments required.
Mhm.
I think under the agreement, I think the limit is, it's either 500 or 525. And so I think if there was some need to go beyond that, there would have to be some amendment to the agreement that would take care of that issue.
Okay.
But whatever the amount that's expended, he'll be required to repay that, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
But right now, there's a cap in the agreement. The city has latitude to provide more funds if necessary.
Yeah,
but that would be at the discretion of coming back and asking.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes,
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
So we need a motion to, for a final?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion to place ordinance 2022-2 on final reading and the final reading be passed, moved by Council President Steers.
Yes.
And seconded by Councilor Schneider.
I thought she was asking you to.
Any discussion? Council President Steers?
Yes.
Councilor Schneider?
Yes.
Councilor Tiarena?
yes.
Councilor Stickley?
Yes.
Councilor Heising?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-2 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Zilling Control Systems for engineering services. This is one of the few.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
I'll second.
Motion to place resolution 2022-2 on first reading and the first reading be passed, moved by Councilor Stickley and seconded by Councilor Schneider. Any discussion? Councilor Stickley?
Yes.
Councilor Schneider?
Yes.
Councilor Heising?
Yes.
Councilor Tiarena?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Second reading. We need a motion to amend ordinance 2022-1. If you have questions for that amendment before we move forward on that. Does anyone have any questions? Just a little bit of cleaning up there. Okay.
It's going to be, I think, so after the long story short is it's probably going to be necessary for council to consider a motion to amend on its final reading next meeting, because under the ordinance which you guys just passed with respect to the bond proceeds, now that that's passed, or tomorrow, whenever the folks can figure out what the interest rates are going to be, which will then determine what the repayment schedule will be, which is part of an exhibit to the agreement. So we'll have, there's already I think it's B or C, there's already a schedule in there. That's going to have to be updated because I think the interest rates will change. So So I just want to put you on notice that it's probably going to be necessary to amend the agreement only because of that exhibit, which is his sort of blueprint for how much he has to make sure it gets paid back on a periodic basis. This last amendment, or this current amendment, only had to do with making sure that the language is specific, that it's the company, that is Mr. Gleckler's company, that's responsible to pay the difference between what the owners pay through the increased tax value and what's owed the city. So if, for example, he's got a couple owners and the increased amount is $3,000, but what's owed to the city is $10,000, I'm just picking these numbers, making these numbers up. What's owed to the city is 10, he would be responsible for the difference when that payment's due of 7,000. So it's the company and not the other owners that have to bear that burden.
Mr. Glecko's aware of all of this, correct?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
has been-
Well, I sent the
back.
amendment to to Matt Gilroy and asked him to forward it on. I believe he did. So we've been providing the documentation to him. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll make the motion, Mayor.
thank you.
I'll second that.
Motion to amend ordinance 2022-1 moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Tiarena. Any discussion?
Do you know what the interest rates are off the top of your head, or?
I do
You
not.
don't know it?
Yeah.
Do you ballpark at all?
That's a
It was
Jamie question, I think.
1.95, But it's gonna fluctuate.
Yeah.
It depends, and they didn't look for it to fluctuate too much.
Jamie thought it was gonna stay
Yeah,
pretty
pretty
much stable,
true.
Pretty
but-
close.
but you don't know until you
It
actually
just-
file for it.
Right.
just
And
depends.
it's not fixed at all? It's variable based on prime, or?
It's gonna be fixed.
It will be
once it's
locked
there.
in.
Oh, okay.
Once we get to the final, that's what the schedule's about.
Got it, okay.
So the current interest rate in the Exhibit C of the agreement, the amended agreement, is 2.1%.
2.1.
So I'm guessing it might be a little tiny bit higher than that, but that's
Yeah.
really more.
Any
And
more
I'm sure Jamie
interesting?
can get that information passed on to you guys once they figure that out.
The Fed said it was gonna stay stable. They're
They,
not raising it according to
Well,
the federal.
they
Really?
were saying, yeah, but you just don't know. It could
Well,
fluctuate just a little bit,
yeah.
but they
Right.
weren't looking for huge jumps
Correct.
by the time this gets to where
But I
it
think,
is.
I think it's gonna be pretty straight
Okay,
where they're at, 195, 2.0.
nice.
We're gonna hold you to that, Harold. Interest rates are staying stable.
Councilman Stickley.
Hey, that's pretty good, because I was just trying to borrow money at 3.99. I don't think I'm gonna get it done.
Okay, so we need
Counselor
to,
Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
yes,
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
perfect, thank you. Ordinance 2022-1, you want to read this, right?
No.
Okay. An ordinance authorizing the creation of the Seneca Drive Incentive District within the city of Wauseon, declaring improvements to certain real property within such incentive districts to be a public purpose, describing the public infrastructure, improvements to be made to benefit or serve the real property within such incentive district, declaring such property to be exempt from real property taxation, requiring annual service payments in lieu of taxes, providing for minimum service payments, establishing a municipal public improvement tax increment equivalent fund, and provided related authorizations pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Sections 5709.40C and the rest. Can we get a motion on that movement?
I will move.
Second.
Motion to place ordinance 2022-1 on second reading and the second reading be passed, moved by Counselor Heising and seconded by Counselor Stickley. Any discussion? Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steers?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-1 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Ohio State Attorney General for collection of delinquent taxes.
Okay, I'll move.
Motion to place resolution 2022-1 on second reading and the second reading be passed, moved by Counselor Heising and seconded by Counselor Stickley. Any discussion?
Now, this, at any time, we can decide that we don't want to do it if it doesn't work out, right?
Yeah, there was a termination provision, but it's short. I can't remember if it's 2
Okay.
weeks or a month or something like that.
I knew it was short, but.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Counselor
typical is
Rice.
kind of 30, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
typical is 30 days, so,
Sounds right.
yeah, I would guess, like, notify them in 30 days, and then it would be terminated. Both parties, I guess, probably.
Right.
That's pretty standard, but.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Council President Steeritz?
Yes.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, we have nothing under third reading or legislation. Under new business, Harold's is going on vacation?
Finally.
Okay, motion to excuse Harold Stickley from all meetings that
I will
occur.
move.
Where's he going, where are you going now?
Denied.
Hawaii? Yeah.
Hawaii? Oh, he's gonna get a tan
From
even.
Friday till the 10th.
I don't know, wish he shouldn't
You
have
gonna
said
bring
that.
us any special coffee beans back or anything?
Maybe.
fun?
Maybe.
Oh.
If you vote yes,
I
I
like
will.
mine whole bean. Just so whole bean.
Is that what you, is that what you took the loan out for? Is that what you took the loan out for? Is that what you took the loan out for?
No,
3.99
no,
interest?
I gotta buy it, I bought a brand new alignment rack.
Mhm.
All right.
I think we ought to make those
Let's-
meetings Zoom so he can.
Yeah.
All the way from Hawaii.
Approve the
Yeah.
minutes, otherwise
He'll do
we're
it from the
gonna-
beach and then we'll all just
Yeah.
mute
I'll
him.
I'll take a picture and try to get an email to them.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second, I'll go ahead.
Ooh, road trip. Here we go.
Motion to excuse Harold, moved by Counselor Stickley, I'm sorry. Motion to excuse Counselor Stickley. Moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Council President Steeritz. Any discussion?
Guess we already had it.
Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Council President Steeritz?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
I'll abstain.
And Counselor Heising?
Yes.
4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstain, motion carries.
Wait, someone would have been missing. We wouldn't
Thank
have
you.
had a Majority,
I know.
would we? You would have to wait. Have a special meeting just to let
I
Harold
just
go
have
on
to go and ask me
vacation.
to beat the shit out
I'm
of
glad you guys all showed up.
It's gonna be really.
Okay, so I guess we just need a motion to pay the bills, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve and pay the bills is presented, moved by Counselor Schneider and seconded by Counselor Tiarena. Any discussion? Counselor Schneider?
Yes.
Counselor Tiarena?
Yes.
Council President Steeritz?
Yes.
Counselor Stickley?
Yes.
Counselor Heising?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Motion for adjournment, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion to adjourn, moved by Counselor Stickley and seconded by Counselor Tiarena. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Put it up and then you guys do that.